Just before we explore adding dependencies and links between our sub-projects and even between tasks within our main project, our master project, and our sub-projects, there's just a little slight thing to show you because this is likely to happen to you if you're using any of my working files. Here I'm using the master project working file, which has links to the three sub-files, My Kitchen, Sally's Kitchen, and Bob's Kitchen. However, if you were to open this file, the three sub-files, although they exist in the working files, will not exist at the same path. When you hover over here, it tells you what the path is expecting, which is C users temp desktop working files. Well, the chances of you having exactly the same address on your machine are quite remote. So what you will find is I've deliberately moved Bob's Kitchen. So if I try to expand Bob's Kitchen, it then says I can't find the file at the address I'm expecting it, but opens up your file system for you to then pick the file from the correct working area for the right file. So you'll need to be able to pick Bob's Kitchen, Sally's Kitchen, and My Kitchen so that they have the right address for your working file. So for the moment, I've renamed Bob's Kitchen to Bob's Big Kitchen so that the project file couldn't find it. Now I'm choosing Bob's Big Kitchen and OK, and then it quite happily re-establishes the link. So you will need to do the same if you open up this master project working file, is effectively just click the little arrow as if you're trying to expand. If it can't find the project file, you'll then be prompted for a location for that project file. And they are in the working folder. Sally's Kitchen, My Kitchen, and Bob's Kitchen are in the working files. So once you have your links to the project re-established, so the master file is working, then you can explore linking between tasks in your master file and between tasks in your kitchens, in your sub-projects. For example, we have three projects here. My Kitchen, let's go to that task. Let's go to the first task. We can see that My Kitchen starts here on the first week in October, but the other one, Sally's Kitchen, starts 2 weeks after, and Bob's Kitchen starts here. Now I'm going to be the project manager for all three of these projects. I don't really want all three of them on the go like this at the same time. You can see there in the Gantt chart, just at the moment where they have summary bars, they seriously overlap. So really, there ought to be some sort of interdependency. So I want, for example, Sally's Kitchen, if I'm going to go with Sally's second, to start somewhere after the end of My Kitchen. So if I expand out My Kitchen and scroll down, there's my project finished on November the 4th. I could start Sally's Kitchen a little bit before the finish, because we've just got the finishing off to do with the sink and the unit doors, for example. So the testing there. So if I want Sally's Kitchen to start after all the testing has been done, then I expand that out as well. And I have to highlight the first task, which is that task 30 within My Kitchen, hold down the control key and highlight, let's say, the empty cupboards, the first task in Sally's Kitchen. So I have both of these tasks highlighted. I then go up to the task ribbon here and look to link the selected tasks. I'll keep an eye on what happens. All of these dates have changed because they've changed color. Over here, if we scroll left a little bit, we can see that the predecessor here to empty cupboards is now a whole URL, which is the address of the My Kitchen project and task 30. If you hover there for a little bit longer, we just come back again. So it's the address of the file and then /30 for task number 30. So Sally's Kitchen is now not only driven by its own project start date, but by an interdependency based on this task here, which is in a different project. The effect then on my Gantt chart is to push this project over here, now not start until November the 4th, whereas it was starting back in October, on October the 17th. Notice the numbering has changed slightly here, in that we go 1, 3. Task 2 appears not to be there anymore, and the same here. We have 30, 32. So task 31 appears not to be there anymore. Now what's happened is, to make these links work, Microsoft Project has created what I refer to as a ghost task, and you don't see those ghost tasks in the master file here. But if I save the changes to My Kitchen, save the changes to Sally's Kitchen, yes I do, and then close this master project file, but then open up, say, Sally's Kitchen on its own, here we now see task 2. It's a ghost file, so it's grayed out. What it effectively is a copy of task 30 from My Kitchen file, so that when you open up this project on its own, open Sally's Kitchen on its own, I can see the predecessor to empty the cupboards. It's this task here, test called unit secure and working. But obviously Microsoft Project has to give it a number. So it gives it number 2, everything else gets renumbered. That task 2 is now visible when I'm looking at Sally's Kitchen on its own. But when I look at Sally's Kitchen within the master project file, which is where I will tend to look at it, I don't see this ghost task. But I do know that something is there because the number 2 is missing. Save the changes to that and go back to the project, master project working. Hopefully that sort of explains why the numbers are missing. The numbers are missing because a ghost task is created within the sub-project so that it effectively keeps itself in order, really. And the same happens here, 30 to 32. 31 is a ghost task, which is this task here, emptying the cupboards in Sally's Kitchen, so that it knows it has a successor in a different project file. Now we could do exactly the same between Sally's Kitchen and Bob's Kitchen. So at the moment, Bob's Kitchen wants to start on October the 10th, but really we don't want it to start until we finish Sally's. So we're going to link testing all of Sally's equipment. So we click on that task and then control click emptying the cupboards and do the same little link icon. This task now follows that task. They're in 2 different projects, but we link them the same way. And here we have some ghost task appears as well. So number 2 is not visible, and there number 32 is not visible. 2 ghost tasks have been created in 2 of the sub-project files. When you're in the master, it doesn't matter about seeing those ghost tasks because you can see the predecessor. Bob's Kitchen is now being pushed to start in December because we need to have Sally's finished before we can start Bob's. So adding links between projects is pretty straightforward. Same goes for links between tasks in the master and projects. So my project development plan may need to finish before we even start my kitchen. So click task 1 there and then control click task 2 here and link. And then we go all the way back to start project development plan here. Scroll that into view. You can see that's going to take place back in August, but my kitchen doesn't even start until October. So the link does not cause the project to start any earlier than its project start date. They can cause the project to start later, as we've seen with Sally and Bob, but it won't bring it any earlier. If I want my kitchen to start earlier than October the 3rd, then I would need to physically change the project start date. Or I change the project start date for my master to push this project development plan further forward than August. Project information, start date. Let's move the start date for the master, so for the whole project, through to October the 3rd. Okay, you can see there's my project development plan. Costs, my kitchen cannot start until that's completed. That actually gets pushed now to starting on the Friday of that week rather than the Monday. So we've even pushed forward slightly my kitchen, which then has a knock-on effect with Sally's and Bob's kitchens. Linking of sub-projects and tasks from the master to the sub-projects is fairly straightforward if you use that method of highlighting the 2 links, click and control click, task ribbon, and use the little link icon. That is the best way of doing it because you can see the predecessor path now is the whole file address / the task number. To delete a link, that's as easy as it's always been. Click in the predecessors and then just delete to delete the predecessor, and then the link will be broken. You can see there then that the development plan starts here, but my kitchen still starts on the 1st because it now has no predecessor to push it any further forward than its start date. The links can be deleted very easily, as we've always done with our links. Adding them involves making sure that you select the correct 2 and then using the link icon, and that will get you the links between sub-projects. Now, if you have a lot of projects and you actually add quite a few links, you might find it useful to go to project and links between projects to see them. So this window here will show you any external predecessors or external successors, which is quite useful here in the master, but probably more so if you were to just open perhaps my kitchen or Bob's kitchen on its own and you wanted to see if it was linked to any other files. Because while you're in there, the only giveaway are those little ghost tasks. And you think, why is that ghost task there? Ghost task is there because that's a replica of that task from another project. So that's one of the big benefits of using a master project file, is the ability to link between your sub-projects and see those links very, very visible in the Gantt chart.